Football is a universal language. It really brings people together, regardless of their culture and beliefs. Women's football is about creating a positive environment, promoting communication and respect, and focusing on team orientated goals and activities. Future Baller is an opportunity for girls and young women to be part of an exclusive football coaching clinic to not only develop their skills on the field, but to give them a space to thrive and build their knowledge, build their confidence, build their self belief. Future Baller is dedicated to providing a world-class experience led by accomplished international players Chloe Lagazzo and Emily Gilnick. These ladies have a vision and they've got a purpose, and that is to really bring their skills from being international footballers to give young girls the opportunity with not only football skills, but to support and cultivate things necessary to achieve greatness, both on and off the field. And, women's sport and life, there are a lot of similarities. These skills are going to include mental strength, resilience, and leadership abilities. Now, Future Baller clinics have been designed to support and empower, appreciate football skills, right? And also provide guidance required to achieve greatness, both in football and in life. Joining me here today to unpack this exciting event is Emily. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a great introduction.
Oh,
I'm so passionate about this project, so I'm really excited to be here today.
And I think once everybody hears about what you have put together and also your skill set and your background and your journey, I can only imagine that people are going to be racing to the phones to try and grab some of the tickets. But let's talk about you first.
Yes.
Professional football player.
Yes.
Matildas, Melbourne Victory. I mean, you're very accomplished.
Yep.
You've been a number 9 forward. Women's national football team. Matildas,
Played all around the world.
You played all around the world. But you didn't just pick up a ball and end up there. I mean, what does a day as an international footballer look like now, where you are?
Yeah, now. Well, it's interesting you say right now because I've just unfortunately missed out on the Olympics. I've just had surgery on my ankle, so I've had a few blows recently, and I think it's important to dig deeper into that as we go into this show. But yeah, right now I am in a rehab phase. I'm trying to get back to my full strength playing ability. So I've just started running yesterday, believe it or not, and I can't explain to you how good that feels. And so just with my story alone in my current situation, there's so much ups and downs that not just me, but Chloe as well, we've gone through in our footballing careers, and it's not all the highs, there's a lot of lows, and there's so much strength that can be shown in how you ride those lows and the comeback. So right now I'm on a comeback journey.
Right.
I'm really excited to get back to full strength, get back to playing and getting another season under my belt, and then making my way back into the national team.
And it is a journey, but part of that journey was from when you started, from when you were a young girl. Now, when you were a young girl, were there many female role models in your sport?
To be honest, no, and we get asked this all the time. Our role model when we were younger was Kathy Freeman. Now, she's not a footballer, but everyone remembers the run that she had that was history making, right? And now what everyone remembers is history that was made with the Matildas at the World Cup. So it's come leaps and bounds. But when I was younger, I played every sport under the sun. I was the most active kid you could ever imagine. Mum had a tough time sitting me down and getting me to sleep, let me tell you that. But I've always loved sport. I love being active. Health and wellness has always been a part. It's been in my bones since I was a young kid. Now, I would kick a football around with the boys, and that was my bread and butter. It was all about beating the boys when I was younger. It's all about, kicking the footy in the backyard with my brother. And, so it really started not through any pathways. It didn't start through any great world-class coaching. It was all from the ground up, and it was all from me. It was from kicking about in the backyard. It was from dreaming big, and it was from just really believing that I could be something one day.
And a dream without a plan is just a dream, but a dream with a plan is a goal. And what you girls have created with your Future Baller camps is part of that goal journey and getting people to a place where they do understand there are the highs, there are the lows, and you are now that inspiration for the young girls of Australia. You are the inspiration that you have those injuries, you have to fight back from it. How do you turn that around? What does it look like before you go, onto the field. How much
Mhm.
of a mental game?
The mental game is massive. I think it's so understated in this time and age. I would almost, it's really hard to say this, but I would almost put 90% on the mental game because for me, I've never grown up as an extremely talented footballer. And now
Aha.
I've been playing professional for 10, 11, 12 years in the Matildas now. However, most of this is mental resilience, mental toughness, because I've had setbacks. I've had times where the coach hasn't named me in the starting 11, where I've been on the bench, where I've missed out on opportunity, where I've missed a World Cup, I've missed an Olympics. And so it's all of these building blocks through resilience. So you've got to be mentally tough. And a lot of the times in throughout life and what these young girls will be facing right now is there's going to be people that don't believe in you. There's going to be coaches that say you're not good enough. There's going to be maybe parental pressure, there's going to be external pressure, there's going to be all these roadblocks, and it's how do you navigate and tap into your mental side? Because for me, I always struggled with self-belief, and that's why I'm so passionate about giving back to these girls, because I want these young females to believe in themselves and we want them to reach their full potential through sport and hopefully through football. So there's so many valuable lessons that I want to share because Chloe and I have both had such adversity throughout our careers. It's never been smooth sailing, and
Pe-
I've really had to push mentally.
People see the success, they don't see the struggle.
That's right.
And the struggle is part of your day to day. It's the everyday picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it's,
Yep.
your health, whether it's your
Yep.
sports physio, whether it's your game analyst that's sitting there with you, looking at spreadsheets and looking at how you could be doing things differently. We're going to unpack
Yep.
more into
Yep.
what goes on behind the scenes. It's not just the superstars that we get to see and the superstar that we've got here today, which is super exciting. But the coaching clinics, you've really brought together so many different elements that you're going to share and I think break down the barriers
Yep.
for these young girls and young women to really feel included, to really understand that, like you said, there's going to be knockbacks, there's going to be injury, there's going to be, maybe teammates that you may not get along with. And how do you come together as a team and work together for that goal when you've got those obstacles in front of you? But it didn't just start recently, right?
No.
How young were you when you first put on your first pair of boots and laced them up?
Yeah, gosh. I mean, I was in primary school, and funnily enough, my mum actually didn't want me playing footballer. She thought it was quite a dangerous sport, even though I played rugby league with the
With the
boys
boys?
and basketball. So they were actually my two sports growing up. Basketball was my all-time favorite, but I really laced up the boots, and this is an important story because I was a late bloomer.
Aha.
I started when I was 12. All my friends started when they were 4, 5, 6. So
Wow.
they were little kickers. I was much older. So you can imagine my skill level was really low.
Wow.
I just had, just volunteer dads that were helping me try and score goals. But these dads really believed in me at that time. But I didn't have the coaching and the fundamentals. But what I did have is a desire. I was always the first to training. I was always the last to leave, and I can
Love that.
guarantee, and every person would say that about me. I train harder than everybody else. I always find the time and beg my dad to make sure I could get private coaching one-on-one. I've got a great story about my left foot. A lot of these young kids say, I've got no left foot, I can't kick with it. It's hopeless. It's just for standing on. So was mine. But I did private sessions with just my left foot only, and now most of my international goals and most of my career goals are with my left foot. So the proof's in the pudding. If you put in the work and if you want it more than everybody else, I guarantee that you can get it. And I want these girls to dream big.
And dreaming big is possible. A dream with a purpose, a dream, with a plan becomes a goal, and you have achieved your goal well and truly. Here are some pictures of yourself and Chloe at the pinnacle, at the top, the dream. This is the absolute ultimate dream, and congratulations, because it wasn't an easy journey. It was a daily grind, a daily struggle, but you said you had the will. You didn't have the skill in the beginning, but you had the will. And this is what you're going to empower the girls at your clinic with, teaching them how to unpack. Where is it that you're lacking? What is it that you need support with? How your story came about, because not everyone is gifted.
That's right. And this is the storytelling that we want to showcase, that, these are the things that it is going to take to get to the top. You're not just going to wake up one day and be a Matilda, or wake up one day and have this beautiful contract at Bayern Munich overseas in Germany. It takes years and years of resilience and self-belief and a lot of failure. Don't be scared of failure, because it's the step back that is so rewarding when you take the 2 steps forward. So, you know, we've been through so many ups and downs, Chloe and I, but we've worked so hard to get to where we are. And I always say this to young kids, it's hard to get to the top, but it's even harder to stay there. So we want to showcase, you know, to the very detail of how long we sleep, what do we eat, how often do we train, the type of training, the cycle of training, the mindset, the discipline, the resilience, the character, the work ethic. These Future Baller clinics are not only about getting these young girls to develop in football, but it's about making them good people, because Chloe and I resemble that. Our careers have been built off the back of being good people, good humans, and I truly believe our work ethic and our character has gotten us this far in life.
The fundamentals don't lie. It is all about the character building, and the Future Baller Clinic is going to deliver not only the skills, but it's going to deliver the fundamentals, the core beliefs that these ladies hold. And this is why they got to the top, because you cannot just get there with skill. You need that team. You need that community. And Chloe and Emily are bringing us a 2-day only. So 1 day in Sydney, 1 day in Melbourne. There are 200 tickets only. And in fact, they've already started selling. So you're going to have to get on the phones fast. Here are the details. Future Baller Coaching Clinic. It's a mouthful. Sydney, October 2nd. It's in the school holidays. It's $360 worth of value. I'm going to unpack what you get there. It's incredible. But there are 200 places only in Sydney. And of course, in Melbourne on October 4th, 200 places. Again, they've been selling. So you're going to have to be fast. $360 now. Emily, you and Chloe are going to be hosting, along with some incredible coaches that you've worked with over the years. So there are going to be coaches. Who's this clinic for? Is it for gifted and talented, or is it for somebody who's just aspirational, or somebody who's got minimal skills? Who is she?
This is what I love about this clinic and what we resemble. It's the all-inclusive clinic. So if you've just started to kick a ball and you're inspired by what the Matildas did at the World Cup, or if you're someone who's trying to get that breakthrough and land that first contract, you might be someone who's just trying to make the school team. We want to fit the caliber for all of these young players. So you might be not extremely talented, but you've got a dream, or you might be extremely talented, you're trying to captivate that dream. So everything and far in between, we cater for all abilities, all ages, and I don't want the 17, 18-year-olds to be scared that they might be stuck with the 10-year-olds. We've catered for the young girls according to ability and age, will be catered for separately. And I guarantee that Chloe and I will be there and have face-to-face contact and coaching and knowledge with every single future baller that is at that clinic.
Absolutely love that. So it's inclusive. Girls will be grouped into their abilities, and of course there's going to be additional coaching staff there. World-class event. 1 day only in Sydney, 1 day only in Melbourne. There are 200 places, but the tickets have already started selling, so you are going to have to be fast. The website is on the bottom of the screen. If you've got your phone, take a photo of it so that you've got that. The phone number is there. You can buy the tickets. Now, what are we getting for this 1 day event? Let's take a look at the inclusions, because you are getting a full day of support, of coaching. You are getting that Future Baller training t-shirt. You're getting a session with a professional mindset coach. Now, this is really important, and we're going to talk about the mindset. Goal setting journal, which Chloe and Emily will run through with you. You'll get a Future Baller drink bottle. You're going to get an EA Sports FC 25 game. That's roughly about $140, $150 odd worth of value, and so much more. There are other stuff there, which are going to be a few surprises on the day. Here is the deal. It's a 1 day only event. We've got October the 2nd in Sydney at Wanderers Football Park, Rudy Hill. It is $360. This is so affordable. This is such an incredible opportunity to get there, to meet these rock stars, to really get involved with what it takes to get to the top, what it takes to take that next step in your journey. Get the phone number on the bottom of the screen. Don't miss out. If you're looking at the Melbourne Clinic, it's on October 4th, 2024. Go to the website. And again, 200 tickets, 2 days event only. 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne. It really is an incredible opportunity. So tell me about the arrival. I arrive on the day. What does my day look like?
Oh, it's packed, it's jam full. Like Chloe and I have been dreaming about this for a really, really long time. For years, we knew we wanted to do something and give back to this game and inspire these young girls to dream big. So you're going to arrive there, you're going to sign in, there's going to be banners, there's going to be, you know, we're going to have EA Sports, we're going to have Ultra Football merchandise, we're going to have stuff everywhere. We've got some great sponsors and brands on board, and we're going to have world-class coaches in Australia. So we're going to have all the groups and all the fields set out accordingly. You're going to get a bit of an introduction. Okay, there's going to be some great food. I can't tell you exactly what it is right now.
All right.
But So we're gonna start off with unpacking everything from what Chloe and I are gonna deliver on the day,
Mm-hmm.
and just in minute detail because we've only got 5 hours, right? If it was up to me, I'd love to give these girls 6 months of inclusivity, but we've got to package in everything that Chloe and I know and how we can get this message across in 5 hours. So
Mm-hmm.
there will be coaching stations, there'll be a warm up, there'll be an attacking version, there'll be a defending version, there'll be a midfielder version. They'll be ticking every single box as a footballer. So then we cater for every single player. And now me as a striker, I'm a typical striker, right? I love scoring goals. So
Uh-huh.
I am personally going to teach you how to kick a ball and how to score a goal. And so are
Love
our
that.
world-class coaches. So we're going to make sure that we cover every single requirement of developing as a
I
footballer.
love
And we're
that.
going to do that in 5 hours.
That is brilliant. So, I mean, was there any coaching clinic like this when you were young?
I'm glad you brought it up because there wasn't. I wanted to be a Matilda so bad, but the option of training with a Matilda when I was younger was just near impossible. The option of a world-class clinic like that just doesn't focus on football, that actually focus on what's really important, and that's mindset and empowering young women with instilling belief and confidence. That's what this clinic is really all about.
Right.
And why we're so passionate about this is because Chloe and I didn't have these opportunities when we were
Mm-hmm.
younger. So it is our mission, if you will,
To
to
share.
share,
I love
to
that.
share.
And yourself and Chloe are both Matildas, right? That is,
Mhm.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank
But
you.
the journey to get there,
Mhm.
it must have been, you must look back on it now sometimes
Mhm.
and think, how did I get through?
Yep.
How did I get through the obstacles?
Mhm.
How did I overcome the injury?
Yep.
How did I overcome those times when you talk yourself
Yep.
down or you talk yourself out of?
Mhm.
And this is going to be incredible for you to be able to share this with these young girls who
Yep.
haven't yet started. I mean, they're on
Mhm.
their journey, but they haven't
Mhm.
yet started, whether it's in sport,
Yep.
whether it's in career, relationships, whether they're
Mhm.
family or external relationships. Some of the life lessons that you were talking to me about before we started the
Mhm.
show are certainly transferable,
Definitely.
right?
And I've got a powerful story. I think it's really important for people to hear how it really started for me because I was a young kid growing up. I kind of hoped maybe I would, land what was at the time an Australian professional contract back then in the W League, and then and then that kind of happened. And I was like, well, could I be a young Matilda? And then that happened. And I was like, wow, could I actually play for the Matildas and wear the green and gold? And that happened. Now that didn't all just happen overnight.
No.
So when I was younger, sadly enough, and it's really powerful, and it's why I always share this story, is a lot of my friends around me made it before I did. And in most situations, you'd throw in the towel, you'd give up, right? And it makes you feel like, okay, you question yourself, am I actually good enough?
Yep.
But I realized then and there I was a really resilient person. So I watched everyone else achieve greatness and I was at a standstill. I wasn't really getting selected. I wasn't really making it.
Would have been tough.
Yeah, it was really tough. And, so something, I still had a fire inside me. I knew deep down, and that's where it's important. Like, if you're not getting that support of confidence and belief from other people, you need it within. And that's what we want to try and build in these young girls. So I actually went away on a school trip to the AIS. And this is where I think the universe is looking after me. The Matildas happened to be training there.
Wow.
And I had my school teachers who, I give them so much credit. They really believed in me. They believed in me more than I believed in myself. So thank you to them. They asked the Matildas coach, which is just crazy, if, hey, I've got this school kid, she's amazing. Can you give her a shot? Let her train with the Matildas.
Wow.
Now, I must have been 14 or 15 at this time. So you can imagine, I'm thinking, what? I'm about to train. I couldn't believe you said yes. This was Tom Samani. I trained with the Matildas and it was a fitness session. So, you're a bit stressed. And now this is a sink or swim moment, right? And here I am thinking, I never made it through the pathway. All my friends have been here.
Yes.
This has come out of the blue.
Yeah.
I've got to throw everything in this. I had the training of my life.
Oh,
Had
how
the training of my life
fantastic.
with all of, which is what's scary. All of the best players in Australia, the Matildas who I looked up to. The coach then calls my school teachers, hey, can she come back tomorrow? We're versing some boys. Can she play? So I played with the
Wow.
Matildas in the green and gold, just in a closed match against boys. I had my school watching.
Oh my gosh.
He gets on the phone the next day, calls the QAS Academy, which is the stepping stone to getting your professional contract. The next week I was in the QAS Academy.
Yes.
That following season I landed my first professional contract.
Oh my gosh, that is the sliding doors moment. And when you just said then, I mean, you couldn't believe that you were going to go and play with the Matildas, or train rather with the Matildas. This
Mhm.
is what you're giving young girls the
Mhm.
opportunity. That moment right there, which was your sliding doors moment.
Yeah.
We've got 2 days coming up next school holidays for the young girls, for the young women to experience what Chloe and Emily are bringing you, which is the Future Baller Coaching Clinic. It is a one-day event. We've got it in Sydney. We've got it in Melbourne. It is an incredible opportunity to learn about the resilience, the mindset, the overcoming obstacles, the skill honing, which they're going to be teaching you and training with you. Emily and Chloe will be there. There will be world-class coaches there. There are going to be some surprises thrown in as well. It is October 2nd at the Wanderers Football Park at Rooty Hill, or October 4th in Bulleen in Melbourne. It's Bulleen.
Bulleen, yep.
Park
Bulleen
in Melbourne.
FC, yep.
$360 seems like incredible value for what you're getting for the
It
day. I
is.
mean, you've got, tops and t-shirts, good quality ones too,
Yep.
by the way. The
Yeah.
great brand.
Yeah. No, they're great. They're
The
great.
great ones.
Yeah.
The drink bowls, you've got the EA Sports, the 25 game, you've got
Yep.
all sorts of other things, but you're getting that moment
That's
that you
right.
just described before, that moment of sliding doors for you may be sliding doors moment for somebody out there. It may be your daughter, it may be your granddaughter, it may be your niece, it may be somebody who's just striving to get to that next level, or who's having a bit of a struggle, or who just needs that camaraderie of that team environment to build them up, to let them know that it's not all sunshine and roses. There are knockbacks, there are setbacks. It is the team and it is the community around you and that tribe that is the coaches and the nutritionalists and the physios and the data experts that are honing in where you're going wrong, where you're going right, so that you can work together to get the goal. This is a day for young girls and young ladies to gain knowledge, to believe in themselves, to have a plan, to keep working towards that plan at a world-class training event. It is the first of its kind. It is run by two of Australia's most accomplished sportswomen. This is an opportunity not to be missed. Now, maybe you're a sports club and you've got a raffle coming up. I can tell you I'd rather buy tickets in this than the usual chocolate box. What about a school fundraiser? Grab a couple of tickets, raffle them off. This is an opportunity that will be remembered. This could be that sliding doors moment for a young girl, for a young woman. It's on in the school holidays. It is a 5-hour camp clinic and an incredible opportunity not to be missed. There we've got some photos. So tell us about this moment.
It was pretty special. It was my first World Cup opportunity. So for me, it's kind of still a pinch me moment. I remember exactly getting told on the phone that I was going to my first World Cup. And you can imagine as a young kid, you kind of hope that you're going to wear that green and gold one day. But then when it really sinks in and when you get the yes that you've been selected, and there's 23, right, that can go to a World Cup. So you're one of 23 that is the best in the moment at that time to represent your country on what is the footballer's holy grail. It's the stage. The World Cup is the biggest event for footballers.
Huge.
Other than the Olympics. So
huge.
Chloe and I were both so proud to be a part. We played such a large partner, and I've actually got a really good story on that World Cup. Our first game was against Italy.
Right.
And here I am, I'm thinking I'm in good goal scoring form. The coach believes in me. I'm feeling great. I don't play a single minute against Italy.
Oh.
Not a single minute.
Oh.
I'm on the bench. I don't come on. And so now to get out of the group stage, the next game against Brazil is a must-win match.
Right.
So there's no excuse. If we don't win, we're not getting out of the group stage. And so here I am just, I'm deflated, but I'm such a team player and everyone can back me on that. It's team first. So you've got to put your emotions aside.
Right.
Coach comes up to me, puts his arm around me. He said, I know you didn't play against Italy, but that was for a reason. He said, you're starting against Brazil because my best team's going out there to win.
Yes.
We win that game 3-2.
Oh.
So it's a moment, and it's another sliding doors moment that when for some reason doubt might creep in, don't let it, because there is belief there. And if I gave up on myself, then I'm not ready for that Brazil match.
Right.
And so he instilled belief in me in that moment by putting the arm around me, saying, "Hey, I know you didn't play them, but there was a higher purpose, and now's your time."
And that's the tricky bit, I guess, in life, is that you don't always know what the plan is, right?
That's right.
But that belief that you said, and that self-belief, and that knowing that there is a plan sometimes that's going on in the background that you may not yet know about. And this is really, really cohesive in both sport and in life, whether it's in business or whether you're involved in studies, or it may even be a family plan. It's learning to accept things that sometimes you can't control.
That's right.
But What an exciting moment to be part of that team.
Mhm.
You're still part of that team. Australia has fallen in love with the
Mhm.
Matildas. Australia, well, it's generational, right?
Mhm.
People are recognising the brand. I've read that the brand is the most recognisable sporting team
It
in
is.
Australia at the moment, but it is going in leaps and bounds. People are literally following you girls, following
Mhm.
everyone on social media. Why do you think it's become so popular?
Well, let me tell you, a few years ago, we were getting called the female Socceroos, and that's a
Oh,
true story. So 5 years or so ago, maybe six, people didn't even know who the Matildas were. So it's a typical cliche of we have been working in the background to get our silver lining moment, right? And that was the World Cup. This recent one. We had a turning point in France there at the World Cup that I was a part of, but this one in Australia really captivated the hearts of Australians and put Matildas on the map. So, the story transferable here is, in the background, what you're doing and working hard, you've got to have an end goal. And sometimes you may or may not reach that. We all believed in that of like, no, we are going to be recognized for the hard work that we put in. And that has happened. And that's what we want to, a lot of these young girls and a lot of talent will go to waste and has gone waste because there's so many young girls out there that don't believe in themselves.
yeah, right.
There's so many young girls out there who are doubting themselves. And the reason why I'm so passionate when I talk about it is because I once was.
Wow.
And it's no secret. And everyone who knows me knows that I'm very vulnerable and open about it. I still struggle to believe in myself to this day. And that's why
Wow.
I
At your
preach at
level.
my level. I'm never satisfied, which is crazy. I'm always wanting to be better. I still think like a young kid that like, no, I want to, there's always more, there's no ceiling for me. I
Right.
want to be better. I want to strive for greatness. I still don't think I've hit the pinnacle of where I think I can go. And I still struggle with doubt. And you get that through injuries and
Yes.
setbacks and
Yep.
not making a team. And
Yep.
it's important to know that even at the highest level and representing my country, these things still creep in, which is why when I was younger, I didn't have anyone to teach me these lessons and to help me navigate
Well,
them.
this is where you have created this sports camp, which is going to be fundamental in developing confidence, and it's that vulnerability that you show that not
Yeah.
everyone shows, which I've got to say is commendable. To talk about, how you feel. Talking about our feelings is really important, but not everyone is open. Not everyone lets their barriers down, and I think hearing from a hero how they navigate their way through their day, through their week, through their journey in life. But when we see someone like yourself, Emily, who is at the top, at the world-class elite level, to hear that you have struggles, I think really would help somebody understand themselves and understand that how they're feeling is normal, how they're feeling is essential to learn how to reach out, give a hand, and
Most.
ask for a step up. But let's have a look at these pictures of you guys of your journey and wearing the colours that made you proud, wearing the colours and the jerseys that are recognisable. But it's not just about you ladies. It's about your tribe. It's about your mums and your aunties and your grandmas and everyone that's involved in that sporting team. It could have been the ladies in the canteen. It could have been the person who was on orange duty.
Yep.
But I would like you to tell me a little bit about Chloe because she's not here today, which is unfortunate, but she did call in before and give us a shout out.
Yep.
Tell us about what Chloe's like and how you two complement each other because you must be different.
We're different, but we're so alike. And I think that's what drew us together. So I debuted in 2012 and I think she came into the Matildas maybe a year or two after me. Now we've both had a roller coaster journey of adversity. But the thing about Chloe and I and our similarities is we both strive for greatness.
Right.
We're both so dedicated, so resilient, and it's never been smooth sailing for us. And we connect on that. And we hold each other to a higher standard. Like we both have really high standards, but when any of us just drop off a smidge, she's onto me
onto
and
you.
I'm onto her. And that's because that's just, that's friendship, that's love. You care about someone. And it's about, sometimes doing the hard things and pulling them up on like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that or you need to be training more, whatever it is. And, it's this push-pull relationship that we had. She was my bridesmaid recently. So, we have a really, really good relationship and we connected right from the start.
I love that. And I love where you said, if you're doing something that's not right, you get pulled up on it because that's true friendship, right? You might not like it at the time, but you understand that somebody really does care for what's best for you. But being an overachiever, you're both obviously overachievers. You've obviously got a great sentiment and a great knowledge of, the highs and lows and the highs and lows in sport, but the highs and lows in life. And what have you learnt from football, from sport? I mean, what have you learnt how's it shaped you?
Yeah, gosh, we've learnt so much. I'm glad you asked because our biggest learning was missing out on this recent World Cup. Chloe and I cried together. I can't. There's no emotion that you could capture through the screen right now of how sore that was such a sore spot and how emotionally damaging it was for us. But I also believe in silver linings and everything happening for a reason. Us missing out on that World Cup meant that we got to be a spectator and watch Australia fall in love with women's football, which meant we saw all these young girls with these big open eyes and these sparks flying, dreaming big of like, hey, I could wear that green and gold one day. And that's what Future Baller is about.
Great.
So, we've been through a roller coaster together, and Chloe's a fiery Italian woman. I've got a fiery Croatian background. We're just two multicultural women coming together, and she's just such a good person. She's such a good friend, and I'm just so proud to be doing this with her.
And that is the beauty of football and women's football. It is bringing everyone together, regardless of culture, regardless of background. It is something that you can, make friendships and create friendships that are lifelong friendships and be part of a team where you may not all be besties, but you are going to have to learn that we need all these differences and all these different skill sets, both on the field and in life. Future Baller is going to deliver. It is going to deliver the opportunity. These next school holidays, in the October school holidays coming up in Sydney and in Melbourne, there is a one-day clinic on October the 2nd in Sydney and October the 4th in Melbourne. It is an opportunity to get your daughters, your nieces, for somebody who's really struggling or who's really kicked a few goals and you want to give them a bit of a celebration gift. But potentially it's an early Christmas present, or it could be a sporting group or association. Grab a couple of tickets. They're going to get raffled off. Let me tell you, I'm preferring this than the chocolate box. There is only 200 places. This is an exclusive world-class event. There are only 200 places for both Sydney and Melbourne, but tickets have already started selling, so you're going to have to be fast. The phone number's on the bottom of the screen there. The website's on the bottom of the screen there. Get on the phones, get to the website, take a photo of that because you may want to finish watching the rest of the show, but you're going to have to be quick. Also, on the day, you're going to have Future Baller training t-shirt. You're going to get that professional mindset coach. I want to find out a bit more about that. The goal setting journal, which is really important. The Future Baller drink bottle. And then of course that EA Sports, that's worth about $140, $150 odd dollars. That's value. Talk about value. There's much more. There's going to be surprises. You're going to get some food. It's going to be also about skills, right? But skills with the ball and skills with the mind, right, are two very different things. The mindset coaching, you've got somebody really quite professional in the sporting arena, and tell us about what that involves.
Yeah, so we done a lot of digging. Future Ball is all about quality over quantity, and we found that this lady was the best for what she's going to deliver to these young kids. Now, when I was younger, we didn't really have any mindset coaches. We didn't have psychologists, sports mindset, sports mentoring. It wasn't really a thing right now. And it is the key ingredient to becoming, or just not even becoming high level elite, just in life. You need for someone to help you to understand your mind, because this is the power of success ultimately. So we've found what we feel is a world-class female mentoring program who's going to deliver it to only the kids that are at Future Baller.
Great. Okay, so it is support, it is, encouragement, it is understanding, it is knowledge, and knowledge is power. And if you can understand why you do things or how things should be done, if you can understand how to plan a little bit better than potentially than you have been, this is mind coaching, this is mindset. And then there's the accountability. By setting these goals, the dream can become a reality. You set the steps to achieve the goal. You may step back, you may slip back, but you get back up, you lace back up your boots, you get back on, and you keep on moving forward. This is an opportunity for 2 days only, 1 day in Sydney, 1 day in Melbourne. It may be your daughter, your niece, it may be your granddaughter. What would you say to anyone sitting out there thinking, I wonder if my granddaughter would like this? I mean, she's only played, she may not have played even, she may have stopped football last season because she's in high school and she's busy. what would you say to them if they were to say gift this?
I honestly feel so passionate that this is truly a money can't buy experience. And I say that because I didn't have this opportunity when I was younger. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the mums, the dads, the grandparents that have sacrificed hours and hours and mileage on their tires to get us to training, to give us that support and help these young girls dream big, because that was influential. My parents were groundbreaking for me, and that my dad was my biggest supporter. He always believed in me. He might not be watching this right now, but I hope he knows that, because without his support and without my parents' support taking me to all these trainings, I wouldn't be where I am today. But all these young girls that are thinking about this, I really encourage them to almost just stop thinking and just do it, because there's nothing out there like this.
Yes.
There's nothing that there's any Matildas getting their hands on this and sharing their blood, sweat, and tears and knowledge and just what it's taken to get to the top and to stay at the top. And you just want to help empower these young women to not only build self-belief, instill confidence, and reach their potential through sport, but we just want to ignite something in these young girls, and we just ultimately want them to dream big. And it's not necessarily about them becoming a professional footballer.
Right.
It's just a dream big in life.
Love that. I love that. And when I heard that we were doing this show, I was told that we're going to be, the Future Baller was a football clinic with two of Australia's leading women's footballers who are both Matildas. I sort of thought automatically I was probably going to be, in the thousands. That's what I thought. Because have a think about what you are getting. Have a think about the empowerment. Have a think about the young girls that are getting out there wearing the jerseys, wearing the Guernseys, wanting to be part of it, whether they're wearing them to book club day at school, whether they're wearing them to the sports day, whether they're wearing them on the weekends with pride, whether they're just sitting down in the family lounge room watching with awe. Be a part of it. Make this a moment. This may be a sliding doors moment, not necessarily for the sporting career. Maybe, it may be. It may be that moment like Emily had in Canberra with the Matildas. But it could just be that something that somebody needs to instill that confidence, to get their mindset right, to, we used to call it discipline, right? Discipline when I was young, very young, long time ago, I've got to say, very, very long time ago. Disciplines, but disciplines are now mindset. They are now sharing, which is empowerment. They are now
Accountability.
taking your barriers down and being vulnerable, right? And accountability, exactly, as you said. And these are all things that not everyone has the skills, right? And we learn these things through others. We learn them through experts. We learn them through teaming up. We learn them through listening to people who are people that we respect. And feel vulnerable and give us that empowerment. So what you girls are doing is absolutely incredible. It is Future Baller Clinic, and it is the chance to learn skills on the field and off the field. It is a 2-day event, 1 day in Sydney and 1 day in Melbourne. You can either go to the Sydney clinic or you can go to the Melbourne clinic. It is to develop your skills, to really give you confidence to thrive. It is building your knowledge. It is self-belief, and it is inclusiveness. Brought to you by two world-class, world-leading ladies. They are international footballers. They are both part of the Matildas team, and they have a vision. They want to share, they want to empower, and they want to arm you up with the skills to inspire you to get through those difficult times in life, to get up and dust yourself off, to find a way, to make a plan, to ask for help if you need it, to strive for greatness if that's what you want. But also, just fitting in with a team. I mean, how do you do that when you might have someone who you're not always going to get along with everyone, right?
Oh, that's right. I mean, and you find that workplace everywhere, right? And football's all about, for me, it's about competition, and I love competition. And sometimes if you don't favour someone specifically, you don't quite get along with them, nothing's better than beating them in a 1v1. So, you can use all of these things to your advantage. And it's all about, I love community. I used to run a gym when I was younger. It's all about helping people and bringing people together. I love that community. I love teamwork. I love building friendships, camaraderie. I love pushing people. So, we're going to have that community feeling, but being a part of a team, I can't explain how special it is. And, traveling on the road and playing in the countries that I have, you've just built so many friendships, and they're lifelong friends, and you can't really put a price on that. It's almost like being in school, but constantly everywhere you go. And, I also want to touch on the fact that I've played professional football now for 10, 11 years, and I got my first contract, I think I may have been 19, which is crazy, right?
Quite young,
But
yeah.
if you think about it, how I was feeling at that point, I never really truly believed I had the talent to go extremely far
Wow.
because I wasn't really skilled. But I started off with my first contract in Liverpool.
Yep.
I was like, wow, that's it.
Huge.
That's a
Huge.
giant club. Okay. I then went and played in Canada. I
Wow.
then went to Japan. I then
Wow.
went to Sweden. I then went to Norway. And
Wow.
I then went to Germany, Bayern Munich, and I finished in Aston Villa.
A lot of teams, a lot of friendships there.
And yes, there is. And I'm not saying this because of like I'm just trying to push my resume, but this is a series of hard work and like knowing and explaining to the viewers right now, knowing that you might not be the most talented.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've got a mindset and a belief
A will.
a
A
will
will.
deep within your core,
Yes.
if that resume isn't the proof is in the pudding of that mental resilience can get you to anywhere. Some would say that's a pretty fulfilling career. Even though I'm not satisfied yet, I still feel like I've got so much more to go.
Wow.
But it starts there, and it starts in these young girls
Yes.
thinking that they can land that first contract, or
Wow.
thinking
Yeah.
that they can make that school team,
Yeah.
or thinking that they're good enough to be a part of that NPL club.
Yes.
Like it's all about just getting these girls to believe, because that is the number one problem. We've got so much talent. I've got a great story. I had a girl that reached out to me after the World Cup. I had no idea who she was. There's a coaching app, and she said, "Hey, I really want to train with you." And she turned up. She's like, "I just want to let you know I've never kicked a football in my life. I
Really?
just loved what the Matildas." And when I tell you, I did a 1-hour coaching session with this girl, and she was so talented. And
Really?
I said, "What do you mean you've never kicked a football?" And this is what I'm saying. There's girls out there who don't even know how good
They've
they
got the
are.
skill.
They don't even know how talented they are. They are sitting there, and they could be the product of Matilda. They could
love
be
that.
they are the next
love
generation.
that.
And I wanna dig deeper, and I wanna try and get this encourage. I want to get
Encourage.
this out of these girls.
And I love it that you are at the top of your game, but yet you are wanting to transfer your passion, your skills, your encouragement, your will that you call it, right? Because it was all about your will. You say you didn't have the skill. Well, let me tell you, I think you do. You've obviously honed it in, you've obviously developed, but at the age of 12, you said you had the will, but you didn't yet have the skill. You've now got the will and the skill, and both of those are what you are sharing. Both of those are what you and Chloe are sharing, are delivering, are driving in these wonderful, wonderful coaching clinics. It's Future Baller. It is a one-day only event in Sydney, and a one-day only event. There you are, yourself and your bestie, having that beautiful relationship both on and off the field, where you say there's the highs, there's the lows. The highs, bridesmaid, the highs, traveling overseas together, the highs, the wins. What about the lows, when you have that injury and you are down and you are feeling awful and you are devastated and you are angry? You know, you've got someone there who you can reach out to for support.
That's right. And Chloe was that rock for me, and vice versa. You know, there's a time of real vulnerability there and self-doubt. Am I good enough to come back? Am I even going to come back? Is my body going to allow me to come back? When you have that emotional support in someone that can really relate to you and really build yourself up, because a lot of it, if you don't have the energy to give positive self-talk, I know I've got someone in Chloe that can give that for me. And Future Ball is all about finding that person. So you might not excel in football, but you might find that best friend who's going to be your ride or die, your rock for the rest of your life.
I love it. So tell me a little bit more about Chloe.
Chloe, where do I start?
Okay, so you and her obviously are both very, you're obviously incredible role models. You've obviously both got an incredible moral compass, because you were saying to me, you want girls to know that you want the fundamentals. Be a good human. You said, don't worry about all the ball skill stuff. That's important, and that's going to be delivered on the day. But being a good human. If you weren't, would they have you in the team? If you were real trouble, or if you're real, probably not, potentially not, right? Probably not, because you'd be difficult. Maybe, but probably not.
I'd have to be really, really talented for them to put up with me.
So, I mean, it's really is important to learn how to navigate your way through when you are having an off day, when you are having, your mind's not in the space where it should be, where you are maybe angry, and how you might lash out, or what you may say things, how you come back from that. And, these are things that you girls have obviously learned and share and support one another with, to try and navigate your way through how to still stay together as that team, and how to not sort of tarnish who you are.
That's right. And the good thing about we're really close with Ellie Carpenter as well. So for those of you who know her, absolute superstar. We helped her from the ground up. We're almost like her parents, to be honest. We just kind of guided her, and she's blossomed. She's unreal. She's on fire at the moment. But typical example of a young girl that's nurtured and believes in herself, and she's on the world stage now. Now with Chloe, the special thing about our relationship is through the last 10 years, we've both had times where we're not performing. we're not equally performing really good at the same time.
Uh-huh.
One of us is riding a high and one
Yep.
of us is riding a low. And sometimes in most friendships, that can actually drift you apart. The person who is high stays high. The person who is low stays low, and you drift apart. But what it is with us is we keep coming back together.
Great.
So, you help when the times are low and you push when the times are high. And
Empowerment. It's empowerment.
Empowerment.
And,
Yep.
and you just spoke of your other teammate. The energy I'm getting from you is you find great joy in raising people up.
Celebrating their wins.
Celebrating
really
their wins. And this is what's going to happen at the Future Baller Coaching Clinic. It is about the empowerment. It is about helping young women and young girls rise up to see their potential from somebody who puts the hand out and gives you a hand up and really supports you in your journey. And those moments in life can be the sliding doors moments. Those moments in life can be at the right time, can be exactly what you need to dust yourself off, pick yourself up, or put yourself back in the right direction if you are heading off course. This is Future Baller, and this is an opportunity for girls and young women right here in Sydney or in Melbourne to be part of that exclusive coaching clinic to not only develop your skills, but also to give you space to thrive, to fulfill your knowledge, your confidence, and your self-belief. Learning from these world-class experienced footballers. They are accomplished international footballers. We're talking about Chloe Lagazzo and Emily Gillenk. We are talking about Future Baller. It's a vision, and it is sharing that vision with you. It is them letting down their barriers, talking about their vulnerabilities, talking about the highs and the lows, talking about the wins and the losses, giving you skills on that day, transferable skills that may just get you to that next level, may just get you through that next game. Because let me tell you, Emily doesn't just get on the field with a football. Emily has a plan, and every single time you kick that ball, there is a thought.
Yep.
That goes in. If I'm going here, what's going to happen from there? You are always thinking ahead. So you are planning before you're moving, right?
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, everything is, you wouldn't want to be in this mind. It's 24/7. There's one thing I did want to touch on at the end of the clinic, and this is really important to share, and I'm sorry I missed it earlier, but there will be a Q&A panel and there will be some really powerful storytelling through Chloe and I, because I think these are the messages. But the one ingredient is we want the parents, the grandparents, the close relatives to be there and listen, because it's the families that instill that belief and confidence in the kids. They're the one that drives their kids to training. The parents and the immediate family also need to hear that these might be the same struggles that their young girls are going through, and it actually helps them navigate, relate, and understand, and how can they be, the crying shoulder or the pushing force for these young girls. So we really, really want at the end of the clinic, in the final hour, for the parents and immediate family to listen to this powerful messaging so they can relate to what these young girls are going through.
I love that.
And understand that we have been going through that as well.
Football is more than just a game. It is bringing hope, it is bringing joy, it is bringing inclusiveness, and it is bringing it to all the layers and all the tiers of the family and the community and the support groups. And you are going to be able to have some photos.
Definitely. Photos, signing opportunity.
Brilliant.
We'll be going above and beyond for these girls. It's definitely an experience that I don't want people to miss.
It is, it could be, for me, I'm feeling like it's that once in a lifetime experience. It is the first, it is the only of its kind, and it is run and developed by two experts in their field who are willing to share, who want to give that knowledge, who want to put their hand out and pull these girls up into somewhere where they can stand proud and stand tall and learn that life isn't all sunshine and roses. There are lots of obstacles that you've got to learn to either get around, get over. Success is no overnight, magic trick. It is a struggle. It's full of ups and downs. It's hanging in there in the tough times. It's asking for help when you need it. And it's also the inspiration to know that, they didn't just get given a pair of boots and a Guernsey and jersey and get out there and make it happen. It's been a lifetime of hard work and lessons and support team and support crew. So this is your opportunity. This is your chance to get some tickets. There are 200 only for the Sydney and 200 only for the Melbourne event. Now, tickets have already started selling, so you're going to have to be quick. It's Future Baller, it's a coaching clinic, and it's an opportunity for young girls from the ages of 10 to 18 to lace up their boots, to get out there, to get amongst it, to tear down the barriers, to build up that self-esteem, and to really be part of something incredible, moving forward in life, standing tall, feeling supported, feeling that their vulnerabilities will be helped and not hindered. You're going to be getting the training t-shirt, you're going to be getting professional mindset coach, you are going to be getting the journal, drink bottle, and also the game. Emily, thank you so much for putting this together. We've got to go very, very shortly, but yourself and Chloe really are inspirational. I'm thinking, gosh, if I was between the ages of the age
We
between the
can
ages
lie
of
on
10
your
and
passport.
18, if you have a daughter, a niece, a granddaughter, if you're a sporting association, get your hands on some tickets, take a photo of the phone number, get to the website, and don't miss out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.